Welcome back, guys, to my retrospective look at the Call of Duty series just prior to the imminent arrival of Black Ops, which is only 2 weeks away now. Less than 2 weeks away. Like I say, it's just a retrospective kind of overview. It's not in-depth, it's not professional, it's just me putting a few clips from a couple of levels together and then doing a brief look at the multiplayer. And just basically telling you what I think maybe a few years on, 4 years in this instance, from the games, whether they hold up and what I think of them. So I'll just let this intro play out a little bit, and I'll get back to you in about 30 seconds. So as you can probably make out if you watched the first one, or if you've got Call of Duty 2 yourself, the intro wasn't particularly spectacular, it wasn't particularly powerful. Music to me didn't really fit particularly well either. Maybe I'm being incessantly fussy, but I just wasn't impressed. Now, obviously in the scheme of things, the music, the intro, it matters a little. Well, it doesn't matter at all, I guess. The most important thing is how the game plays, and everything else. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. Now, this game is made by Treyarch, or Treyarch, never know which one to plumb for, which is obviously a departure from Infinity Ward, who made Call of Duty 2. Now, what I found with Treyarch games, let's go for Treyarch, probably Treyarch, but whatever, I'm going to go for Treyarch. What I find with their games is that they're a lot grittier, a lot darker in theme. I mean, even just like the weather effects, it's always dark, it's raining, the clouds are dark, I just get that feeling about all the games. It's not a complaint, it's something which I've kind of recognised them, I've come to recognise them, I should say, for. Now, I will also say that I personally think the weather effects look fantastic in this game, and it's, what, 2006 it's come out, so 4 years now, and I really do think it looks spectacular, particularly later on in the level. I'll probably point it out when I get there, where the puddles, it just looks so realistic, and I'm kind of looking at this again in retrospect, 4 years on from its release, and I'm thinking, man, this looks really, really good. Particularly when there's more of a downpour weather-wise further on in the levels. You see the reflections off the tank, like the water reflections, and off the soldiers' uniforms, and it just looks spectacular. So that's definitely a plus point. Now, not everybody's a fan of Treyarch games. The hardcore Infinity Ward fans, for whatever reason. I mean, I think I'm a bit too old to sort of take sides, who's your favourite developer, kind of gone beyond that. I just like a good game. By the way, this is this water effects I was talking about. I don't know how well it's coming across on screen, but it's stunning, absolutely stunning when you're watching it. But anyway, like I was saying, so I haven't got any real loyalty or a particular affinity to either of the developers, be it Infinity Ward or Treyarch. I just like a good game, and I'm a fan of the Call of Duty series in general. But like I say, the only noticeable difference for me is that Treyarch do tend to go for the grittier approach to things. Now, I like this little feature in a minute. This is pretty spectacular. See, guy chucks a grenade there, and the wall kind of explodes. Something, just nice little touches like that. I guess it's maybe to be expected, in this day and age when we have a lot of sandbox games for the current gen formats. But it's kind of cool, because in an old game, going back 5, 10, 15, or obviously beyond that, if someone shoots at you, you just hide behind the wall and you're going to be fine. But with the wall kind of exploding, really forces you to move and to think on your feet and to use a bit of, tactical nous to find a way out of that solution. So here I'm just picking people off with the sniper rifle like they usually like to do. As I've said before, I think I said in the last game, and I don't know how many more million times I'll say it, I'm a bit of a fan of the sniper rifle. So here, this level's kind of funny because you sneak up on that guy there. I mean, you can shoot him, but straight away you alert everyone. And I think the aim of the game, of this level, is to be as quiet as possible for as long as possible. But as you can see, straight away, I go in there with this bolt-action rifle, and yeah, I guess I could have took him out quietly. But no, I thought I'd go for the headshot, and then the whistles, the sirens start going off. and what have you. Now, a lot of people I know from watching previous videos and speaking to people complain about this gun. They say it's the least accurate around. And I guess it is. You know, obviously there's no infrareds or anything like that. But once you get used to it, it's pretty fine. Just line them up with in the sights, take your time, and I find it's pretty good. But at close quarter combat, then it's pretty useless. But medium to long range, particularly medium range, is fine. So this is like a driving segment in the game. Pretty basic, you know, you're on a particular route, and you don't really have a choice in where you're going. You know, you just follow the targets, and yeah, it's pretty pointless really, but I guess it adds variety to it. And I just thought I'd include these 30-40 seconds just to mix the coverage up a bit. But I mean, this is, I should say it again, what I'm tending to do with these retrospective features is put all the games on easy level, because if you put it on veteran, it'll just be rubbish viewing. If you think this is rubbish viewing now, you'd hate it if it was veteran. So again, got a little bit of a boost up there, and then you're presented with another one of these dual things. So you just got to tap the LT and RT buttons, you know, rotate them back and forth until you get to a point where you're about to win. Press the green button and kick it downstairs and you win. I find these things a little bit pointless, I've got to be honest. But I suppose from a game's point of view, it just adds something a little bit different, and like I say, it's a little bit more variety. So again, I'm going using the bolt action rifle. Again, I'm comfortable with this, but again, at this kind of range. Here it is again, trying to run away. Nice try. So yeah, this is I think the third mission in the game. Now, I've only, when I first got my 360 going back like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was, I did complete this game, but it was on an old gamer tag that I had, and I only had that gamer tag for about 3 weeks, and then I kind of didn't really use Xbox Live anymore for maybe about 15-18 months. And then when I got it again, I used my current gamer tag. So my current gamer tag says that I haven't completed this game, which is true for, you know, for the moment, but I have completed it in the past. Not that it matters, but it does mean that if I want all the achievements and what have you, I've got to do it again. Not much of a drag, you know. It's been quite nice to play through it, and I'm overall quite pleased by it, really. Quite surprised, I should say. Ultimately, it just plays like any other first-person shooter, but yeah. Now, obviously, this is going on now to the multiplayer section. Now, my very first impressions. Take the guy out with the shotgun. My first impressions when I put the multiplayer on, coming from a pretty hardcore background of Modern Warfare and even liking Call of Duty 2 and World at War, I wasn't used to this. I'll be honest, I didn't like it. If I'm completely honest, it just felt really lightweight. You know, when I was running around, it felt as if almost the character, the guy you're controlling, it feels as if his feet aren't really touching the floor. You're kind of like hovering across the surface. And I just didn't get a very good feel for it. Also, another problem I've got with the game on multiplayer is that when you shoot people, you're never really certain that you've made contact, because there's never an indication really that you've hit them. You know, like the sounding like Modern Warfare, that kind of like, which sounds really satisfying when you're doing it. But you don't get that in this, and neither does like a point system come up above, you know, in the middle of the screen to indicate that you've shot them. So like a +5, a +10, 50, 100, whatever it might be. Oh, like this. It's pretty funny. So it's hard to see, and the only way to see it is on the left-hand side, as you'll see in a second. So I'm about to shoot this guy, and then on the left, Alex7892, so highlighted in green. But apart from that, you don't really know you've shot someone. It's kind of, it's hard to realise that. But like I say, I mean, maybe that's been a little bit fussy. You know, at the end of the game, at the end of the round, it still tells you how many kills you've got and all the rest of it. But I just felt that was a little weak. Now, also, another one of my issues with multiplayer, and I found it out particularly in this level, but all levels really, is that sometimes you'll shoot someone, and then there's like a gap. It's only like a split second, but there's like a pause between them then falling over, and you don't know you've killed them until like a second later. And that second, or split second, like this is a good example, so it's pretty funny. Kind of get this bazooka thing, shoot him, and then it's only now he's falling over, and you think, well, hang on, that exploded like a second ago. So it can sometimes make all the difference, that extra second. This is a nice random grade. I had no idea anyone was there. And then on the left-hand side, obviously shows that I killed someone. That's kind of fine. So yeah, that is an issue that I have with it, because like I say, that split second can make all the difference. And this is kind of funny, really, because this kind of level, you know, you have people camping on corners. It's not really a run and gun level; it's a sniper level. Pretty much everybody is sniping. So as a result, you know, you get people sitting in corners, looking, focusing on one way, like tunnel vision, and you can just go up to them. I don't know what this guy was doing. I was going to keep him in my sights there for a lot longer, but then he started to move, so I thought I'd better get him. And then straight away I'm running up this building, and this merchant appears, and I'm thinking, oh, Christ. Run around the corner. I think I melee him in the end. That's pretty foolish of me going around the corner with a sniper rifle. That's, you know, if you're watching this, you don't want to do that. That's when you should pull out your pistol, or your secondary weapon, whatever it is. And again, someone tunnel vision here, they're sniping, and they've completely oblivious to their surroundings, and so pick them up with a nice, you know, 6-yard headshot. So that was pretty satisfying. Now, here's another one coming up. Again, I'm repeating myself now, but it's the type of level, this one in particular, where people, all they're doing, they're sniping. So they haven't got time to kind of run around corners and focus on what's going on around them. But I'll tell you one of the things I really like about the online game. It's the fact that you can, for the first time in the series, because they didn't have it in Call of Duty 2, you can use vehicles. So you've got jeeps, you've got tanks, you've got the motorbikes with like the sidecar. Now I did have a clip of me previously in a sidecar, or driving it I should say, and I was completely rubbish. I was banging into the corners, it's crazy. So I took it out. But in the next segment, I think, coming up, just before the end, I get in a tank, and you see someone else driving around, I think, in a jeep. So it's nice, it adds variety to it. But so here I am again on this Fort du Cran level. Just, again, doing what I usually do. Just got promoted there, as you see on the left-hand side. Just sniping away. But then I figured, you know what, let's mix it up a bit. Let's go around with a shotgun. You know, because again, it's kind of a 50-50 map, this. You know, 50% of people will use a shotgun or a close combat weapon, and the rest will use a sniping rifle. Whereas in the previous level, pretty much everyone uses a sniper rifle. So I thought I'd just go around, get a few kills with this. Got away with this one. I don't know what the guy was crawling around like some kind of snake. Oh, that was about. But so yeah, that's what I would say on this level. If you're ever playing this particular Fort du Cran, I think it's pronounced, then I would definitely recommend going around with either a shotgun or a machine gun, because pretty much everyone else is going to have a sniper rifle, and you can just creep up on them and get a few easy kills. So that's what I tend to do. So again, shoot this guy, bit of a delay, just a split second like I said before, but it sometimes makes all the difference. Get someone here with a grenade, and I think they've finished this particular clip with, again, a shotgun kill. Although how this guy didn't see me, I can only presume he had a shotgun as well, because he was trying to get into close combat before he fired. But obviously, unless he's just an idiot, of course, because he really should have got me there, but he didn't. I got him. So anyway, guys, I think there's like maybe a minute or two left. This is another map, so again, just showing a little bit of variation of different maps. What I will also say about Treyarch in particular is their maps are huge. These maps are really, really big. And that's what I like. I personally like it. It's what I loved in World at War, which I'll feature in a few days or something. And it's what I love about this. And this is kind of funny coming up here. So, multiplayer, I actually do enjoy it, but not as much as any of the other games in the Call of Duty series. Call of Duty 3, would I pick it up? Yeah, I would pick it up. I think it's a good game. It's gritty, it's dark. The graphics are still pretty good. The weather effects, I think, are fantastic. It plays pretty much like every other Call of Duty game. Certainly the early ones anyway. But it's not bad. It is my least favourite in the series, without question. But it's a bit of a grower. The multiplayer, I hated it to begin with. I got to like it a little bit. But like I say, it's my least favourite in the series. But I would still recommend picking it up. You know, give it a try. Cheap as chips these days. So yeah, about, what, $10? 8, 9, 10 quid, maybe even less. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I've condensed this to one video rather than 4 for Call of Duty 2, which was rather excessive. But it might be 2 for the next one, and that's going to be Modern Warfare. It's a great game, and I'll feature that in the next couple of days. Cheers, guys. Take care.